Alright, we're back, everyone. Let's continue. Luke 18, Parable of the Persistent Widow. Luke 18, section 1. And he spoke a parable unto them to this end, that men ought always to pray, and not to faint, saying, There was in the city a judge who feared not Ahiah, neither regarded man. And there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him, saying, Avenge me of my adversary. And he would not for a while, but afterward he said within himself, Though I fear not spirit, nor regard man, yet because this widow troubles me, I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming she wearies me. And Ahiah, the Most High, said, Hear what the unjust judge said. And shall not Ahiah avenge his own elect, who cry day and night unto him, though he bears long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man, Christ Yeshua, comes, shall he find faith on the earth? Parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector. And he spoke this parable unto certain who trusted in themselves that they were righteous and despised others. So, and he spoke this parable unto certain who trusted in themselves that they were righteous and not and despised others. Two men went up into the temple to pray, the one a Pharisee, and the other a tax collector. And the Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself, Ahiah, I thank you that I am not as other men are, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this tax collector. And the tax collector, standing afar off, would not lift up so much as his eyes unto heaven, but smote upon his breast, saying, Ahiah, be merciful to me, a sinner. I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone that exalts himself shall be abased, and he that humbles himself shall be exalted. So I see the difference. The Pharisee was saying how everyone else is bad, and he's happy he's not like them, so he's claiming he's righteous when he's not. And then there's the tax collector who knows what he does, can't even look up to heaven for shame because he know what he did wrong, but asks for forgiveness as a sinner. The tax collector, saying that he's a sinner, is more humble compared to the Pharisee that says he has done nothing wrong. Pride. True faith of little children. And they brought unto him also infants, that he would touch them. But when his disciples saw it, they rebuked them. But Yeshua called them unto him and said, Allow little children to come unto me, and forbid them not, for of such is the kingdom of Ahiah. Verily I say unto you, whosoever shall not receive the kingdom of spirit as a little child, shall in no wise enter therein. Therefore you gotta be like a child, innocent, pure, humble, unbiased, and detached. The rich ruler comes to Yeshua, and a certain ruler asking him, saying, Good teacher, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? And Yeshua said unto him, Why call me good? None is good, except one, that is Ahiah, pure white light. You know the commandments. Don't commit adultery. Do not kill. Do not steal. Do not bear false witness. Honor your father and your mother. And he said, All these have I kept from my youth up. Now when Yeshua heard these things, he said unto him, Yet you lack one thing. Sell all that you have, and distribute unto the poor, and you shall have treasure in heaven. And come, follow me. Spirit. 23. And when he heard this, he was very sorrowful, for he was very rich. And when Yeshua saw that he was very sorrowful, he said, How hard it is for those that have riches to enter into the kingdom of spirit. For it is easier for a camel to go through a needle's eye than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of spirit. That's crazy. For it is easier for a camel to go through a needle's eye than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of the Most High. And they that heard it said, who then shall be saved? And he said, the things which are impossible with men are possible with Ahiah. Then Peter said, lo, we have left all and followed you. And he said unto them, verily I say unto you, there is no man that has left house, or parents, or brethren, or wife, or children for the kingdom of Ahiah's sake. Because now your children, your house, your parents, all these people are all the physical. But yet you haven't done that to do it for the Spirit's sake. To really connect with Spirit, to give up everything like Buddha did. And Yeshaya, who shall not receive many times more in this present time, and in the world to come life everlasting. Yeshaya predicts his own death and resurrection. Luke 18, section 31. Then he took unto him the 12, and said unto them, behold, we go up to Jerusalem, and all things that are written by the prophets concerning the Son of Man, Yeshaya, shall be accomplished. For he shall be delivered unto the Gentiles, and shall be mocked, and spitefully treated, and spit on. And they shall scourge him, and put him to death. And the third day sunrise, he shall rise again. And they understood none of these things, and this saying was hid from them. Neither knew they the things which were spoken. A blind man receives his sight. And it came to pass, that as he came near unto Jericho, a certain blind man sat by the wayside begging. And hearing the multitude pass by, he asked what it meant. And they told him that Yeshaya of Nazareth passed by. And he cried, saying, Yeshaya, you son of David, have mercy on me. And they who went before rebuked him, that he should hold his peace. But he cried so much the more, you son of David, have mercy on me. I believe that Jesse was the son of David, not yet necessarily Jesus, but I may be wrong. Although his name is Yeshaya anyways, not Jesus. And the person named Jesse was actually the son of David, so, And Yeshaya stood and commanded him to be brought unto him. And when he came near, he asked him, saying, what will you that I shall do unto you? And he said, Yeshaya, that I may receive my sight. And Yeshaya said unto him, receive your sight, your faith has saved you. And immediately he received his sight and followed him, glorifying Spirit. And all the people, when they saw it, gave praise unto Ahiah, Shur, Ahiah, Halalahaya. So receive your sight. Your faith has saved you. Receive your health. Your faith has saved you. Receive your strength, because your faith have saved you. Alright, Luke 21. Looking up, Yeshaya saw people, especially the rich, dropping their gifts into the temple offering box. He noticed a poor widow dropping 2 small coins. He said, I can guarantee this truth. This poor widow has given more than all the others. All of these people have given what they could spare, but she, in her poverty, has given everything she had to live on. Some of the disciples were talking about the temple complex. They noted that it was built with fine stones and decorated with beautiful gifts. So Yeshaya said, about these buildings that you see, the time will come when not one of these stones will be left on top of another. Each one will be torn down. There will be a day when the pyramid fall down too. There's a time for everything. The disciples asked him, Teacher, when will this happen? What will be the sign when all this will occur? Yeshaya said, be careful that you are not deceived. Many will come using my name. They will say, I am he, and the time is near. Don't follow them. When you hear of wars and revolutions, don't be terrified. These things must happen first, but the end will not come immediately. Then Yeshaya continued, nation will fight against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be terrible earthquakes, famines, and dreadful diseases in various places, and we've been learning that in America. Terrifying sights and miraculous signs will come from the sky. Before all these things happen, people will arrest and persecute you. They will hand you over to their synagogues and put you into their prisons, the court system. They will drag you in front of kings and governors because of my name, Halal Yeshaya, Halalahaya. It will be your opportunity to testify to them. So make up your minds not to worry beforehand how you will defend yourselves. I will give you words and wisdom that none of your enemies will be able to oppose or prove wrong. Even parents, brothers, relatives, and friends will betray you and kill some of us. Everyone will hate us or you because you were committed to me, spirit, pure white light. But not a hair on your head will be lost, not even a half. But your endurance, perseverance, your tolerance will save your life. When you see armies camped around Jerusalem or America or wherever, by Islam, by whoever, realize that the time is near for it to be destroyed, which means eliminated by fire. Then those of you in Judea should flee to the mountains. So that means we have to go to mountains, wherever mountains are at. Those of you in Jerusalem should leave it. Those of you in the fields shouldn't go back into them, which mean the jobs. Don't go back into the jobs, the fields, not stuff. Leave, flee. This will be a time of vengeance. Everything that is written about it will come true. How horrible it will be for women who are pregnant or who are nursing babies in those days. Indeed, the land will suffer very hard times, and its people will be punished. Swords will cut them down, and they will be carried off into all nations as prisoners. Nations will trample Jerusalem, America, until the times allowed for the nations to do this are over. So until the time of the Gentiles are fulfilled. Luke verse 21, section 25. Miraculous signs will occur in the sun, moon, and stars. Eclipse, red moons, blue moons, stars falling down and all that stuff, or stars getting closer or aligning in the sky, which happened. The nations of the earth will be deeply troubled and confused because of the roaring and tossing of the sea. People will faint as they fearfully wait for what will happen to the world. Indeed, the powers of the universe will be shaken. Then people will see the Son of Man, Christ Yeshaya, the Messiah, coming in a cloud with power and great glory. When these things begin to happen, stand with confidence. The time when you will be set free is near. Then Yeshaya used this story as an illustration. Look at the fig tree or any other tree. As soon as leaves grow on them, you know without being told that summer is near. So as soon as leaves grow on them, you know without being told that summer is near. In the same way, when you see these things happen, you know that the kingdom of Ahaya is near. I can guarantee this truth. This generation will not disappear until all this takes place. The earth and the heavens will disappear, but my words will never disappear. Make sure that you don't become drunk, hung over, and worried about life. Then that day could suddenly catch you by surprise, like a trap that catches a bird. That day will surprise all people who live on the earth. Be alert at all times. Pray so that you have the power to escape everything that is about to happen and to stand in front of the Son of Man, Christ Yeshaya, honorably. During the day, Yeshaya would teach in the temple courtyard, but at night, he would go to the Mount of Olives as it was called, and spend the night there. All of the people would get up early to hear him speak in the temple courtyard. Now, if you want to keep reading Luke and stuff, you can go ahead and keep reading it. I'm going to go ahead to Luke 23. Yeshaya before Pilate, which was the governor, one of Caesar's son, actually. And Pilate actually believed in Yeshaya as well, so he kind of helped them out through the Passover and the difficulty that was happening on the cross and everything. Hold on one sec. Yeshaya before Pilate. And the whole multitude of them arose and led him unto Pilate, led Yeshaya to Pilate the governor. And they began to accuse him, saying, We found this fellow perverting the nation, and forbidding to give tribute to Caesar, which is idol god, which is idol worship, which is a human god, a dead god, saying that he himself is Christ, a king. And Pilate asked him, saying, Are you the king of the Hebrew Israelites? And he answered him and said, You say it. Then said Pilate to the chief priests and to the people, I find no fault in this man. So what he said, he didn't say yes or no, he just said, you said it. He didn't say you're right about what you said or that you're wrong about what you say. He just said you said it. So he was letting them unravel the story by themselves. He wasn't feeding into it or putting ego into it. Yup, I am. I am the king of the Hebrew Israelites, and I'm here to free my people. He wasn't in that character. He just simply went with the flow. He knew he couldn't stop it anyway. So Luke 23, section 5, and they were the more urgent, saying, He stirs up the people, teaching throughout all Judea, beginning from Galilee to this place. When Pilate heard of Galilee, he asked whether the man were a Galilean. Yeshaya before Herod. And as soon as he knew that he belonged unto Herod's jurisdiction, he sent him to Herod, who himself also was at Jerusalem at that time. So Caesar and I don't know where Judea is at really. I gotta look that up actually. Judea, Galilee, that's where Caesar was at. Herod was actually in Jerusalem at that time, so that shows that Israel, Jerusalem was starting to get invaded already by these English people, because obviously we know Caesar was an English Roman Catholic Knight Templar freaking president, whatever you want to call it, or man king, man prince. And when Herod saw Yeshaya, he was increasingly glad, for he was desirous to see him for a long time, because he had heard many things about him, and he hoped to have seen some miracle done by him. Then he questioned him with many words, but he answered him nothing. Silence is golden. And the chief priests and scribes stood and vehemently accused him. Yeshaya sent back to Pilate, and Herod with his men of war despised him and mocked him and arrayed him in a gorgeous robe and sent him again to Pilate. And the same day Pilate and Herod were made friends together. So Pilate and Herod was made friends together. For before they were at enmity between themselves. So before they were fighting each other and against each other in opposition. Now because of Yeshaya, it started to kind of bring them together. And Pilate, when he had called together the chief priests and the rulers of the people, said unto them, You have brought this man unto me, as one of the pervert, as one that perverts the people. And behold, I, having examined him before you, have found no fault in this man concerning those things of which you accuse him. No, nor yet Herod, for I sent you to him, and lo, nothing worthy of death was done by him. I will therefore chastise him and release him, for of necessity he must release one unto them at the feast. So at the Feast of Jubilee would probably be around that time, because around the Feast of Jubilee, everyone are free from their debt, and you free your debtors from their debt and all that stuff, their transgressions, and you're supposed to free them on the 7th month or something along that line. I'm still studying it, but look up the feast. I believe this one was the the year of Jubilee feast where someone got to be released. So for of necessity he must release one unto them at the feast. And they cried out all at once, saying, Away with this man, and release unto us Barabbas, who for a certain sedition made in the city, and for murder was cast into prison. So Barabbas was a murderer. He was a criminal. And the people said, Arrest Yeshua, crucify him, let Barabbas go, the murderer. So Pilate, therefore, willing to release Yeshua, spoke again to them. But the people cried, saying, Crucify him, crucify him. Pilate finds no cause of death. And he said unto them the third time, Why? What evil has he done? I have found no cause of death in him. I would therefore chastise him and let him go. And they were urgent with loud voices, requiring that he might be crucified. And the voices of them and of the chief priest prevailed. So chief priests will probably be the hypocrite priests, and the popes and stuff like that, priests, and the rabbis, Arabian rabbis, the rabbis, the impostor Ashkenazi Jews saying to kill him, not the actual Hebrew Israelite Jews, but the ones that were in the religions during that time, which would be the Ashkenazi Jews. The Hebrews were slaves back then. They were being treated as slaves and stuff like that. So they didn't really know the true gods except the ones that the priests and the popes and the pastors told them to believe in at that time. Like they're doing right now, calling Yeshua Jesus and calling Zeus Christ, which is blasphemies. Many people will be punished. So and Pilate gave sentence that it should be as they demanded. And he released unto them him that for sedition and murder was cast into prison, Barabbas, whom they had desired, but he delivered Yeshua to their will. The crucifixion of Yeshua. And as they led him away, they laid hold upon one Simon, a Cyrenian. Look up that word if you don't know what it means. Coming in from the country, and on him they laid the cross, that he might bear it after Yeshua. And there followed him a great company of people and of women, who also bewailed and lamented him. But Yeshua, turning unto them, said, Daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. For behold, the days are coming, in the which they shall say, Blessed are the barren, and the wombs that never bore, and the breasts which never nursed. Then shall they begin to say to the mountains, Fall on us, and to the hills, Cover us. For if they do these things with a green tree, what shall be done with the dry? And there were also two others, malefactors, led with him to be put to death. So two other people committed crimes that were going to be put to death. So they had him walking with criminals, treated him like a criminal, spitting on him, everything. So this is all part of the covenant that, Yeshua had to endure and go through and persevere through, and he did. And when they were come to the place which is called Calvary, there they crucified him, and the malefactors, the criminals, one on the right hand and the other on the left. Then said Yeshua, Father, Abba, Ahaya, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they parted his clothing and cast lots. Cast lots would be like rolling dice or ruins and things like that, gambling over his clothing and stuff like that, gambling over him, casting lots. And the people stood beholding, and the rulers also with them derided him, saying, He saved others, let him save himself. If he is Christ Yeshua, the chosen of Ahia, the Almighty, pure white light spirit. And the soldiers also mocked him, coming to him and offering him vinegar. So even the soldiers back then were mind controlled just as they are today. So in saying, if you are the king of the Hebrew Israelites, save yourself. And a superscription also was written over him in letters of Greek and Latin and Hebrew. This is the king of the Hebrew Israelites. And one of the malefactors who were hanged railed at him, saying, If you are Christ Yeshua, save yourself and us. But the other answering rebuked him, saying, Do you not fear the Spirit? Do you not fear Spirit, seeing you are in the same condemnation? And we indeed justly, for we receive the due reward of our deeds. But this man has done nothing amiss. So that guy, one of the malefactors, were evil towards Christ, saying, Save us, and do all that stuff, save us from here there if you can. And the other one was like, You fool, don't you see that this is the Creator in front of you right here and now? Don't you see that this is the Spirit? If the people can hang us up beside this dude that didn't do anything, what you think they can do to everyone else? What do you think they'll do to anyone else? This dude didn't do nothing. I mean, we did something wrong, so for surely we're receiving the proper reward for our deeds. It's a consequence, cause and effect. But this man has done nothing amiss. What did he do? And said unto Yeshua, and said to Yeshua, Mashiach, remember me when you come into your kingdom, spiritual kingdom. And Yeshua said unto him, Verily I say unto you, today, right now, here and present, shall you be with me in paradise. Yeshua dies on the cross, and it was about the 6th hour. So it was about the 6th hour, where it's about sunset. Yes, sun's about to start setting. And there was a darkness over all the earth until the 9th hour. So the darkness would also represent nighttime. Darkness all over the earth until the 9th hour, which will be around 9 o'clock. And the sun was darkened, and the curtain of the temple was torn in the middle. So, the darkness could represent clouds too. There was a lot of clouds in the sky. And the sun was darkened, which means there was possibly a solar eclipse, where the moon passed the sun, the perfect alignment of a sun and moon according to the times of the earth. The sun being darkened could also mean that it was blocked by the clouds during that time around 6 o'clock while sun setting. And the curtain of the temple was torn in the middle. So the curtain of the temple, of the mind, of the consciousness was torn in the middle, which would also mean we became duality. You see, they became a separation between the sheep and the goats, the goats, the righteous and the wicked. But I'm not sure if that's what that says, but that's what it reminds me of how our consciousness and our eye has been split, torn down the middle. Especially how they've been splitting our DNA down the middle. You see what I'm saying? So that would separate things into sides and make it biased. Left, right, good, bad, sun, moon, female, male, all that stuff. But I'm not sure if that's what it says. So when the curtain of the temple was torn in the middle, and when Yeshua had cried with a loud voice, he said, Abba, and to your hands I commend my spirit. And having said this, he gave up the spirit to Ahia, which means he gave his spirit back, he gave his body back, gave everything back. Now when the centurion saw what was done, he glorified Ahia, saying, Certainly this was a righteous man. And all the people that came together to see that sight, beholding the things which were done, smote their breasts and returned. So it probably means beat on their chests like they were proud, of what they did in return. And all his acquaintances and the women that followed him from Galilee stood afar off, beholding these things. Yeshua buried in Joseph's tomb. And behold, there was a man named Joseph, a member of the council, and he was a good man and just. The same had not consented to the council in the action of them. He was of Arimathea. Look up who that is or where that's at. So it is a city of the Jews, of the Hebrew Israelites. Unless they're talking about the Atzikanatsi Jews, who also himself waited for the kingdom of pure white light spirit. This man went unto Pilate and asked for the body of Yeshua. So Joseph went and asked for the body of Yeshua. And he took it down and wrapped it in linen and laid it in a sepulchre that was hewn in stone, in which never man before was laid. So sepulchre would be saying like a casket, or a hearse or something like that. And that day was the preparation, and the Sabbath was coming on. So therefore, this was the day before the Sabbath, as you can tell, because the Sabbath was starting to come. It was nighttime and everything, and a whole bunch of stuff was going on. And that day, around the sun was being up or and going down, was a preparation, and the Sabbath was coming on, the day of rest, which mean they had to rest and leave him in the tomb for those 3 days and stuff until Passover, everything's done. And the woman also who came with him from Galilee followed after and beheld the sepulchre and how his body was laid. And they returned and prepared spices and ointments and rested the Sabbath day according to the commandment. So they went and got ready for Sabbath day and started resting on Sabbath day, which means the Creator was being prepared to be buried the day before Sabbath day or a few hours before Sabbath day. So that would be the day before. So that would be the 6th day. The 6th day was the day of preparation. The 7th day was Sabbath. And we go from there. So alright. You guys can go ahead and read the rest of that if y'all want. I'm going to continue on. Some of that I'll read in the Sabbath days and all that stuff video. So 2 Corinthians section 5. Hold on one sec. All right, so Second Corinthians verse 5, section 1. We know that if the life we live here on earth is ever taken down like a tent, we still have a building from Ahaya, the Almighty I am, pure white light spirit. And it is an eternal house, spirit, in heaven that isn't made by human hands. It's made by spirit. In our present tent-like existence, we sigh, since we long to put on the house we will have in heaven. After we have put it on, we won't be naked. While we are in this tent, we sigh. So this body's the tent. It's a prison. We feel distressed because we don't want to take off the tent, but we do want to put on the eternal house. Then, eternal life will put an end to our mortal existence. Spirit has prepared us for this and has given us his spirit to guarantee it. So we are always confident. We know that as long as we are living in these bodies, we are living away from the Almighty I am, pure white light spirit. Indeed, our lives are guided by faith, not by sight. We are confident and prefer to live away from this body and to live with the spirit. Whether we live in the body or move out of it, our goal is to be pleasing to spirit. All of us must appear in front of Yeshua's judgment seat. Then all people will receive what they deserve for the good or evil they have done while living in their bodies. As people who know what it means to fear spirit, we try to persuade others. Spirit already knows what we are. And I hope that you also know what you are and what we are. We are not trying to show you our qualifications again, but we are giving you an opportunity to be proud of us. Then you can answer those who are proud of their appearance rather than their character. So if we were crazy, it was for Ahaya, for spirit. If we are sane, it is for you. Clearly, Yeshua's love guides us. We're convinced of the fact that one man has died for all people. Therefore, all people have died. We died for all people so that those who live should no longer live for themselves, but for the man who died and was brought back to life for them. So from now on, we don't think of anyone from a human point of view. If we did think of Christ or Yeshua from a human point of view, we don't anymore. Whoever is a believer in Yeshua is a new creation. The old way of living has disappeared, crumbled, deceased, dissolved. A new way of living has come into existence, assembled, built, created, manifest. Ahaya has done all this. He has restored our relationship with him through Yeshua and has given us this ministry of restoring relationships. In other words, Spirit was using truth to restore his relationship with humanity. So Spirit, God, was using Christ, which is truth, to restore his relationship with humanity. He didn't hold people's faults against them because he's truth and light, Spirit. And he has given us this message of restored relationships to tell others. Therefore, we are Yeshua's representatives, and through us, I am that I am, pure white light spirit, is calling you. We beg you on behalf of Yeshua to become reunited with Ahaya. Ahaya had Yeshua, who was sinless. Take our sin so that we might receive Ahaya's approval through him. Elohim. Alright, Matthew 22, parable of the wedding dinner. And Yeshua answered and spoke unto them again by parables, and said, The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, who made a marriage for his son. Very delightful. And sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. That's dishonor. Again he sent forth other servants, saying, Tell them who are bidden, Behold, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage. But they made light of it, and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. And the remnant took his servants, and treated them shamefully, and slew them. But when the king heard thereof, he was angry, and he sent forth his armies, and destroyed those murderers, and burned up their city. Then said he to his servants, The wedding is ready, but they who were bidden were not worthy. Go you therefore into the highways, and as many as you shall find, bid to the marriage. So those servants went out into the highways, and gathered together as many as they found, both bad and good, and the wedding was furnished with guests. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man who had not on a wedding garment. And he said unto him, Friend, how come you are in here not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen. Render unto Caesar. Matthew 22, section 15. Then went the Pharisees and took counsel how they might entangle him in his talk, to catch him in his talk. And they sent out unto him their disciples with the Herodians, saying, Teacher, we know that you are true, and teach the way of spirit in truth. Neither care you for any man, for you regard not the person of men. Tell us therefore, what think you? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? So now they're trying to get him stuck. But Yeshua perceived their wickedness, and said, Why test me, you hypocrites? Show me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny. And he said unto them, Whose is this image and superscription? They said unto him, Caesar's. Then said he unto them, Render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto Ahaya the things that are Ahaya's. That's how he answered. When they had heard these words, they marveled and left him and went their way. So he didn't say that, tribute to Caesar or don't tribute to Caesar. He's saying that whatever's for Caesar, if you have a contract with Caesar, if you're a cattle of Caesar, if you work for Caesar, then give Caesar back his thing. But those who work for Ahia is the same way, because Ahia is king of kings. So those that are for Ahia, return back to Ahia. They belong to Ahia. You see, it can't belong to anyone else. So this shocked the soldiers and stuff. Like, oh, whoa, wow. You know, just like when they said, "Are you Christ?" and he said, "You said it. Who are you?" "I am that I am." There's never a definite answer. That's what saved him. So Sadduceus questioned the resurrection, the seducer. The same day came to him the Sadduceus, who say that there is no resurrection, and asked him, saying, "Teacher, Mashe said, if a man die, having no children, his brother shall marry his wife, and raise up children unto his brother. Now there were with us 7 brothers, and the first, when he had married a wife, deceased, and having no child, left his wife unto his brother. Likewise the second also, and the third unto the 7th. And last of all the woman died also. Therefore in the resurrection, whose wife shall she be of the 7? For they all had her." Yeshua answered and said unto them, "You do error, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of spirit. For in the resurrection there neither marry, nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels of Ahia, pure white light spirit in heaven. But concerning the resurrection of the dead, have you not read that which was spoken unto you by spirit, saying, I am the spirit of Abraham, and the spirit of Isaac, and the spirit of Jacob? Spirit is not the spirit of the dead, but of the living." And when the multitude heard this, they were astonished at his doctrine. So the laws of spirit applies to spirit, not to man. It's a different type of marriage and all that stuff, which means we go back to the one, which is like reuniting a marriage. Hold on one sec. All right. The greatest commandment of the law. Matthew 22, section 34. But when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, they were gathered together. Then one of them, who was a lawyer, asked him a question, testing him and saying, "Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law?" There's no greater or lesser, but he'll tell you this. Yeshua said unto him, "You shall love your Almighty, I am that I am, pure white light spirit, with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, is similar. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. So this is all one. You shall love your neighbor as you love yourself, and you shall love yourself as you love your neighbor, which is spirit, your I am presence. On these 2 commandments hang all the law and the prophets." Nice. I like how you said that. Whose son is Christ, Yeshua? While the Pharisees were gathered together, Yeshua asked them, saying, "What think you of Yeshua? Whose son is he?" They said unto him, "The son of David." He said unto them, "How then does David in the spirit call him Ahia, spirit, saying, Ahia said unto my Lord, sit on my right hand till I make your enemies your footstool." So let me read the way it said. He said unto them, "How then does David in the spirit call him Lord, saying, the Lord said unto my Lord, sit on my right hand till I make your enemies your footstool? If David then call him Lord, or the Most High, or Messiah, how is he his son?" And no man was able to answer him a word, neither dared any man from that day forth ask him any more questions. So as you can tell, all his answers are neutral. So we're gonna go ahead and continue with Mark 12, the parable of the wicked tenants. All right, Mark 12, the parable of the wicked tenants. And he began to speak unto them by parables, metaphors. A certain man planted a vineyard, and set an hedge about it, and digged a place for the wine fat, and built a tower, and let it out to husbandmen, and went into a far country. And at the season he sent to the husbandmen a servant, that he might receive from the husbandmen of the fruit of the vineyard. And they caught him, and beat him, and sent him away empty. And again he sent unto them another servant, and at him they cast stones, and wounded him in the head, and sent him away shamefully handled. And again he sent another, and him they killed, and many others, beating some, and killing some. Having yet therefore one son, his well-beloved, he sent him also last unto them, saying, They will reverence my son. But those husbandmen said among themselves, This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, and the inheritance shall be ours. And they took him, and killed him, and cast him out of the vineyard. What shall therefore the spirit of the vineyard do? He will come and destroy the husbandmen, and will give the vineyard unto others. And have ye not read this scripture? The stone which the builders rejected is become the head of the corner. This was Spirit's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. And they sought to lay hold on him, but feared the people, for they knew that he had spoken the parable against them. And they left him and went their way, paying taxes to Caesar. So paying taxes go all the way back to the Roman Catholic days, and they're still doing the same thing. That's why I know we're in the end times. And they sent unto him certain of the Pharisees and the Herodians to catch him in his words. And when they were come, they say unto him, Master, we know that thou art true, and carest for no man, for thou regardest not the person of men, but teachest the way of spirit and truth. Is it lawful to give tribute to Caesar or not? So we read this already. Like they had said, shall we give or shall we not give? But he, knowing their hypocrisy, said unto them, Why tempt ye me? Bring me a penny, that I may see it. And they brought it. And he saith unto them, Whose is this image and superscription? And they said unto him, Caesar's. And Yeshua answering said unto them, Render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to spirit the things that are spirits. And they marveled at him. Alright, so we pretty much read this already. This seemed like a second version of this. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, this is a couple of versions of it. But in Luke 20, section 45 through 47, beware of the scribes. And he said unto them in his doctrine, Beware of the scribes, which love to go in long clothing, and love salutations in the marketplaces, long clothing, long ties, black suits, Jewish clothing, and the chief seats in the seats in the synagogues, and the upmost rooms at feasts, which devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayers. These shall receive greater damnation. So we already read these parts. If you want to stop and look at it again, you can. Alright, and this one will be the last section we're reading for today. And we'll read some more prophecies and stuff like that, what's going on in our next videos. So this will be the final version. So, Joshua 22, section 1. Tribes beyond the Jordan return. Then Joshua called the Reubenites, Reuben. Who was Reuben again? Hold on. Let me see. Oh man. Well, we'll look at that. You can look at it a little bit later. Reuben's one of the Hebrew Israelites. I forgot what tribe. If he's a Seminole Indian or what. And the Gadites would be the North American Indians, and the half tribe of Manasseh, and Manasseh would be the Cubans. Hold on, pardon me. And said unto them, Ye have kept all that Moshe, the servant of spirit, commanded you, bless you, and have obeyed my voice in all that I commanded you. Ye have not left your brethren these many days unto this day, but have kept the charge of the commandment of spirit, your almighty I am, pure white light essence. And now the pure white light essence, your spirit, hath given rest unto you, your brethren. And he promised them, therefore, now return ye, and get you unto your tents, and unto the land of your possession, which Moshe, the servant of the Spirit, gave you on the other side of Jordan. So it's important to know where the other side of Jordan is at, Mount Sinai and all that. And everything is our possession, as stated to Moses through the Creator. Not only that as well, this is like a feast of Jubilee as well, where every man is returned unto himself and return his possessions and stuff like that. So, but take diligent heed to do the commandment in the law, which Moses, the servant of Spirit, charged you, to love the Spirit, your most high, almighty I am presence, and to walk in all his ways, and to keep his commandments, and to cleave unto him, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul. So Joshua blessed them and sent them away, and they went unto their tents. Now, to the one half of the tribe of Manasseh, Moses had given possession in Bashan. But unto the other half thereof gave Joshua among their brethren on this side Jordan westward. So unto the other half therefore gave Joshua among their brethren on this side Jordan westward. And when Joshua sent them away also unto their tents, then he blessed them. And he spake unto them, saying, Return with much riches unto your tents, and with very much cattle, with silver, and with gold, and with brass, and with iron, and with very much raiment. Divide the spoil of your enemies with your brethren. And the children of Reuben and the children of Gad. So these were probably the North American Indians and the Seminole Indians. And I love that they have this map here, by the way. Go ahead, check it out if that's what it is. Hold on one sec. Alright, this is a cool map to have. We'll go ahead and save this right here. Alright. Let's go ahead and continue. And the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the half tribe of Manasseh returned and departed from the children of Yis-RoyAl, Israel, out of Shiloh, which is in the land of Canaan, to go unto the country of Gilead, to the land of their possession, whereof they were possessed, according to the word of the Spirit by the hand of Moshe, Moses. the offensive altar. And when they came unto the borders of Jordan that are in the land of Canaan, the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the half tribe of Manasseh built there an altar by Jordan, a great altar to see to. And the children of Israel heard say, Behold, the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the half tribe of Manasseh have built an altar over against the land of Canaan, in the borders of Jordan, at the passage of the children of Israel. And when the children of Jacob, Israel, heard of it, the whole congregation of the children of Jacob, Israel, gathered themselves together at Shiloh to go up to war against them. And the children of Israel sent unto the children of Reuben and to the children of Gad and to the half tribe of Manasseh and to the land of Gilead, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the priest. I would look those names up if I don't know what it means, if I was you, to see who they are. And with him 10 princes, of each chief house a prince throughout all the tribes of Israel, and each one was an head of the house of their fathers among the thousands of Israel. And they came unto the children of Reuben and to the children of Gad and to the half tribe of Manasseh unto the land of Gilead, and they spake with them, saying, Thus saith the whole congregation of the Spirit, What trespass is this that ye have committed against the Spirit of Israel, to turn away this day from following the Spirit, and that ye have builded you an altar, that ye might rebel this day against the Spirit? Is the iniquity of Peor too little for us? Peor. Look up that name, Peor. From which we are not cleansed unto this day, although there was a plague in the congregation of the Lord. But that ye must turn away this day from following the Spirit. And it will be, seeing ye rebelled today against the Spirit, that tomorrow he will be wroth with the whole congregation of Israel. Notwithstanding, if the land of your possession be unclean, then pass ye over unto the land of the possession of the Spirit, wherein the Spirit's tabernacle dwelleth, and take possession among us. But rebel not against the Spirit, nor rebel against us. And building you an altar beside the altar of the Spirit of our Most High, I am presence. Did not Achan, the son of Zerah, commit a trespass and a cursed thing, and wrath fell on all the congregation of Israel, and that man perished not alone in his iniquity? So right here, Achan. So Achan, the son of Zerah. If you don't know who they are, look them up. Zerah. Then the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the half tribe of Manasseh answered and said unto the heads of the thousands of Israel, the pure white light essence, God of gods, the Lord Ahaya Shur Ahaya of gods, I am that I am of I ams. He knoweth in Israel, he shall know, if it be in rebellion or if in transgression against the pure white light spirit. Save us not this day, that we have built us an altar to turn from following the Spirit, or if to offer thereon burnt offering or meat offering, or if to offer peace offerings thereon, let the Spirit himself require it. And if, bless you, and if we have not rather done it for fear of this thing, saying, in time to come your children might speak unto our children, saying, What have ye to do with the Spirit of the Almighty I am that I am of Israel? For the Almighty I am that I am present had made Jordan a border between us and you, ye children of Reuben and children of Gad. Ye have no part in the Spirit. So shall your children make our children cease from fearing the Spirit. Therefore we said, Let us now prepare to build us an altar, not for burnt offering, not for sacrifice, but that it may be a witness between us and you and our generations after us, that we might do the service of the Spirit before him with our burnt offerings and with our sacrifices and with our peace offerings, that your children may not say to our children in time to come, ye have no part in the Spirit. Therefore said we, that it shall be, when they should so say to us, or to our generations in time to come, that we may say again, behold the pattern of the altar of the Spirit, which our fathers made, not for burnt offerings, nor for sacrifices, but it is a witness between us and you. Ahiah, forbid that we should rebel against the pure white light spirit, and turn this day from following the pure white light spirit to build an altar for burnt offerings, for meat offerings, or for sacrifices, beside the altar of the pure white light, Almighty I am presence that is before his tabernacle. And when Phinehas, the priest, and the princes of the congregation, and heads of the thousands of Israel, which were with him, heard the words that the children of Reuben and the children of Gad and the children of Manasseh spake, it pleased them. And Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the priest said unto the children of Reuben and to the children of Gad and to the children of Manasseh, this day we perceive that the Spirit is among us, because ye have not committed this trespass against the Spirit. Now ye have delivered the children of Israel out of the hand of the Spirit. And Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the priest, and the princes returned from the children of Reuben and from the children of Gad, out of the land of Gilead unto the land of Canaan, to the children of Israel, and brought them word again. So the children of Israel were dwelling in the land of Canaan a long time ago. Long time ago. Alright, so we're about to be done right here. And the thing pleased the children of Israel. And the children of Israel blessed Ahiah, the Almighty, pure white light spirit, and did not intend to go up against them in battle, to destroy the land wherein the children of Reuben and Gad dwelt. Because now Reuben and Gad made a contract with the children of Israel. This is how they got initiated into the children of Israel. We made a covenant at that altar. That is the contract. Joshua 22. And the children of Reuben and the children of Gad called the altar Ed, for it shall be a witness between us that the all white light presence is what it is. I am that I am is the Most High. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this 4-part series. If you have any questions, just go ahead and contact me. We've been decoding a lot of things about the Bible, and I just hope that you guys are finding the truth within what I'm saying and delivering. Those who are meant to be saved by me will be saved by me, and those who aren't will not be. They won't get me. They just won't get what's being said and brought across. But those of y'all that see the power in this believing in spirit over matter, continue to have a strong faith. Continue to do what's courageous, what is right in the name and eye of the Almighty Spirit that we are. Continue to know who you are, because you are who you are, and things are what it is, and this is how it gotta go, you know. And have a blessed day, you all. May you all live in peace and prosperity. Shalom.